Hey guys, is this you? And you want this to be you instead?
Now they can push him. My god.
Well, I'm gonna help you, so fucking subscribe and enjoy the video. Hey guys, this is a very basic aim tutorial. Well, we'll call it aim tutorial, but we're going to talk about gun mechanics and trying to hit your shots and be as accurate as possible. So it's going to be kind of loose. I'm just gonna like freely talk. This isn't scripted, so we're just gonna get on with it. Let's go. So a lot of people are probably coming from Warzone to give this game a go. Riot's new tac shooter, and if they have no experience with CS:GO, this will be very important and very knowledge that you need to be semi-decent in the game. So, how do our guns work? This is the most important thing. Unlike in Call of Duty or many other FPS games, Apex, etc., you cannot run and shoot and be accurate. That just looks like a noisy mess. We don't want that. You can walk and shoot. You know, it's not as bad, but what we generally need to do in this game is be stood still while we take our shots at enemies. So, yeah, heavy penalties for moving while shooting in this game. Very important that you know, and especially the closer you are, you can maybe get away with it. Look, my spread, not so bad here, but, you know, if you're any kind of range, which you probably will be taking these fights with assault rifles, you need to be careful to be not moving while you're taking shots. Even the smallest bit of movement, you know, can mess up your shots. Where if you stood still, you know, my bullets are basically a laser. So let's go on to the next thing, recoil. Very important. This mechanic is almost in every game. So all we need to do is, as we take shots, our gun is going to adjust for, well, we're going to have to adjust for the gun's recoil. So you're shooting and the gun is going up in the air. Up in the air, up in the air. And we need to compensate for that. So I'll just show you a clip now. You can see I'm not moving my mouse at all. I'm literally just holding down the trigger, and the gun has deviated up and made a little, we call this a spray pan. And also, the further away from the target or subject you are, the bigger and wider the spread is going to be. So you see, this is way bigger and further back, and the closer you are, the tighter the spread will be. So what we need to know is, and consciously think about, is how close we are to the target. So if I'm here, I only have to adjust slightly to the recoil. So I'm going to show you this before I put some bots on. So I'm just going to pull down gently because I'm really close. See that? That's way better than this. You know, as long as I've got my crosshair on someone's head or upper chest, I'm going to kill that person pretty quick. If I'm doing this, I might start to hit them in the chest, but they might have moved, or, you know, I can't accurately kill people when this is happening. So literally, small pull down. That's enough to kill a person in this game. So that's all we need to do. Like, you can spray close up, but you kind of want to burst at long ranges. And I'll show you some. So let's go back. Sorry, I'm muddling a bit here. So small amount of adjustments. You can see my crosshairs here, and the bullets are going there. You don't really want to spray more than 10 bullets in this game generally, unless you're super close. You're getting rushed on. You just need to unload bullets. It's kind of the only time. If we're further away, we need to adjust more for this, because obviously we know the spread was much wider. So let's do this again. Much harder to keep the bullets tighter. That one wasn't very good. There we go. You see the bullets, how far my mouse is from where the bullets are actually hitting the wall. Then obviously there is some pretty long lines of sight in this game, so it's not really best to spray at long range. You kind of want to burst people. So you want to, like, in your head, this is going to come over time, but like shooting like little bursts of like 4, 5, 3 bullets at people's upper chest and head. Ideally head, but you know, when you're learning, you're obviously not going to be an absolute dome master straight away. So look how accurate you can be with just 1 or 2 shots, even at pretty long ranges. Again, I'm just slightly pushing down, like pulling down with my mouse to compensate for the gun recoil. So up close. And if I don't do it, the gun's going to go up. I'm just gently pulling down. The bullets are in like almost identical spots. You see that? Further away, we have to pull down more when we're doing little bursts. And then at this range, you can even use your ADS if you'd like to. You know, someone's in heaven, somewhere with a sniper. Just little bursts 2 or 3 bullets, get the headshot, you get the kill, you win the round, etc. Right. So we know how to control our gun now, but let's test it on some bots. So we'll open the practice bots. So let's say you see someone, just kind of letting loose. This is no recoil control. I'm just kind of like moving while I'm shooting. This is not very good, not very effective. You're not going to get many kills doing this. Let me put the bot armor on real quick. Right, so here's what we want to do. We want to be aiming upper chest, ideally head, and remembering all the things we just learned. So we don't want to be doing moving. You're going to hit some random shots, but it's not ideal. Look at that. That's doing neither of the things that we just spoke about. So we want to be focusing on standing still when we're about to take our shots, and then pulling down depending on the distance between us and the enemy when we adjust for recoil. So this guy, should probably use the Phantom because it takes more than one headshot. You see, I'm just gently like massaging down the body. You can kind of think of it like that if you want. It's a little strange, I just thought of that, but yeah. So you just gently massaging down. Let's get a bit further range here. So I'm going to go for the head, and then I'm going to work my way down. Depending on how far they are is how far down the body I need to go. Missed that. So you can see that's all you need to do to get a kill. Obviously, the tagging in this game is, if you don't know what tagging is, it's when you hit the enemy with a bullet, it's going to slow their move speed a lot. So learning to even hit one bullet and stop and continue is going to be very good for catching enemies like off guard, basically. Right, so let's look at the difference between the assault rifles. This is pretty big, and it's going to come down to preference, but there is situations where one is better than the other. So the one we were originally using is called the Vandal. This is kind of like your AK-47, your big meaty boy, loud, noisy, and proud of it. I kind of feel like this is the ego gun. But if you're good with this gun, it is insane. So we're going to start really close up. So in this game, armor will give you 50, and you got 100 health. So one tap to the head is going to kill people with a Vandal at any range. So look, we're going to go through them. So at 5 meters, one tap, 156, that's the kill. Let's go 10 meters, 156, that's the kill. 20 meters, 156, 30 meters, 156, 50 meters. Even 50 meters is a long way on this game. That's a one shot to the head. So we're going to go back, and we're going to do the same with the Phantom. So here's the advantage of using the Phantom. It has a silencer. You might not think, wow, what does that mean? So in this game, there's a lot of smokes and utility and walls that every hero can put up, or agent, sorry. And what we need to do, what is good with the Phantom is when you spray through those things, they will not see traces of your bullets to know where you are shooting from. So it gives you that little bit of extra, what's the word? We'll call it cover. I can't think of a better word for it now. Compared to the Vandal, where as you start spraying through, they're going to see your bullet traces, and they might counter shoot, like see where they're coming from, and you might get fragged for that. Also, this gun has a higher fire rate. So if you are closer, or you're caught off guard, or there's multiple enemies, it's better to have higher fire rate. Right, let's go through the range again. So 1 bullet to the head, 156, that's a kill. 10 meters, 156, that's a kill. 20 meters, 140. So you can see we're only at 20 meters, and now this gun is going to take you at least 2 headshots, or body and head, just to get a kill. So body, head, that's a kill. So bearing in mind, there's advantages to both of those guns. Let's keep going. So 30 meters is 140 still. 50 meters is 124. So that's going to take you two kills, 2 bullets as well to kill an enemy. So yeah, I think that's kind of the basics. We're going to go into something else now, and hit me with a transition.
Okay.
Hey guys, we're going to get into the last part of the video now, which is crosshair placement. This is going to get you so many kills when you get used to the gun mechanics of the game. So, what is crosshair placement, and what is it used for? That's important. How can we apply this to our game? So crosshair placement is basically having your crosshair ready on angles where enemies could be or could peek out. So it's really important and it's going to get you way more kills because you're basically going to be prepared for the engagement, ready for the fight. So it's going to be less work for you, and it's going to be less toll on your aim. So if your aim's not that strong, but you have really good crosshair placement, you can win. You can beat better players with better aim than you if they have bad crosshair placement. So how do we do this? So basically what it is, it's going to take a lot of map knowledge and a little bit of time to learn. So let's say there's someone in mid vents, and we are coming from mid, and we wanna push them. We want to take a fight. We're not going to peek out and be looking at these stairs or in the sky or looking at this box and then have to turn and compensate for our bad crosshair placement. So we want to be already have our body facing the angle that we want to peek. That is important. So when we peek out, our crosshair is already closer than us walking out this way. And then after the more time you do this, the better you'll be. Maybe go in a private match with your friends and just practice peeking each other on these angles. You know, hold left side of the door. Right, I'm going to peek and let's take a fight. I'm going to peek, let's take a fight. I'm going to peek. You know, you can do that. So you always want to be holding corners as well. You don't want to be aiming at this wall here and have to adjust. You don't want to be aiming in the middle of the door unless... Because not many people are going to stand in an open doorway in this game. This is a tactical shooter, and that's not a very good tactic. So we always need to make sure we're kind of holding just on the inside of the angle that we think someone could be playing. So when you come out, you know, you're ready. That was not good. So I'm coming out. I'm ready for a fight. Whereas if I come out like this, I come so much more action for me. And it's so much more difficult to win that fight. You're already like half a second ahead of me because I've had, well, not half a second, but I've already had to adjust to try and kill you. So that's not good. I want my crosshair up, head level. That is important. Head level. You never want to be holding an angle. So let's say I'm the guy in vents. I don't want to be holding this at your feet. That's bad. I don't want to shoot your feet. Obviously, when people are new, they feel like their crosshair's in the way. That's why they do this. That's why they aim at the floor, so they can see this part with their eyes. They're like tilting their head down. You need to be aiming at where someone's head is going to be. That's the important thing. Do you think they're going to swing wide? So you hold the angle a bit wider. That's really wide. But are they... Also, if I hold the angle really tight here, if someone plays in the corner rather than peeking out of the angle, I'm holding that as well. My body is also protected from this left side. And I've just got my crosshair in a really, really good place. So if someone peeks out, I'm ready for the fight. And just as well, you should be, the person peeking should be ready for the fight as well. So it should be almost like, it's your mechanics of stopping and being ready for the fight, a test, and it's their reaction time. You're testing the enemy. Also, this is going to be really good for clearing angles, your crosshair placement. You don't want to be, okay, I don't know where anyone is in mid. I don't want to be like wandering like this, like, oh no, there's not one there. There's not one here. Oh, I've been shot from here. Or I missed one. I missed one of the angles. So crosshair placement is super good when you don't know where people is. Because like I said, you always need to be ready for the engagement. So we're going to try and push up mid on our own. Let's say it's a 1v2 and I have no idea where the other guys are. First thing we're going to do, we're going to clear sewers. Because that's the first angle we're susceptible from. Well, I guess apart from here, but we're going to leave that. So we're going to check sewers. Right side's clear. Left side's clear. Box. Check that. So you see how my crosshair's already ready from when I'm moving. I check right side of mid. I'm a little close to this angle to check that so I can move back. Right side of mid, no one. Right side of vent, left side of vent. And then I can push up because the only two places I have left to check now is the box, which I couldn't physically see from here, and this little kind of cubby hole in mid. Right here. So you see, just with my crosshair placement, if anyone's in these spots, I've got way more of a chance of winning a fight than if I'm just kind of wandering up and like, oh no, there is one here. I have to turn and, you know, etc. And I'm not safe from this side either. So you're just basically asking for deaths there. So that's important. We're gonna stop there today though. And yeah, if you guys want to like and subscribe, I'd appreciate it. There'll be more tutorials. We'll talk about maybe clutches or utility usage or how to die less. Let's go with that. Let's do how to die less next. All right, guys. Thank you. Goodbye.